That's too funny. Okay, so how to audit. Here's the questions on how to audit your last year of business, 2021. Okay, question 1, what were the biggest wins of 2021? Question 2, what were your biggest obstacles of 2021? You're going to write them in a list, and then you are going to categorize them right beside them, whether you can control it or it was something you could not control. And the ones that you can control, you're going to write how you can stop them from happening in 2022.
Okay, so you're going to list in categories. One you can control, one you cannot control.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go under can control.
Yep.
You're going to write how to prevent that in 2022.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So just make your list and then you can go beside them, like, so that you're not trying to think in your head to categorize them, like just write and then put control, not control beside it. Just do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then number 3 is, what were your biggest blessings in 2021? So by blessings, we mean a lesson that may not have felt like a blessing, but you learned something from it and it makes it a blessing.
Oh, blessing. That wasn't. Sorry.
BLESSON, blessing.
Blessing.
That's what it said. That's what he called it, a blessing. BLESSON. So instead of being a lesson, it was a blessing.
Is that a real thing?
That's what Fraser
According
said.
to him.
Fraser Brooks said that, yeah.
Oh, so a blessing, that was a lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the biggest blessing.
Yeah, the blessing. So yeah, it's something like an experience that you learned from.
Okay. Lesson that was I had a lot of those that last year.
I know, right? I'm like, whoop, whoop.
Lesson that was a
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then come see me for waxing and then not in my learn to make it relaxing.
Number 4 is, what was your word for 2021? And what is your word for 2022?
What was yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
Abundant for this year.
Oh.
Last year was education. Like you said, a lot of learning.
Don't forget to be specific about what you want to be abundant, because you can have abundance of a lot of different things.
Yes, I do have a list. Yes, okay. I do have a list.
I have abundance of more lessons.
I know. I was like, no, positive stuff, please, only. That's it. That's what I'm asking for. So then you take that word and you write it on 5 pieces of paper and you put them where you're going to see them so that you don't forget about it.
On 5 sticky notes.
Yep. Wherever. On your mirror, by your bed, on your door, in your vehicle. Okay. Okay. So number 5 is you track your income. So income from your business from January to December, or from whenever you started, if you just started this year. But you write it all down so that you can see it.
This is what John Maxwell does every year. And he's so excited to do it. Remember talking? He's like, oh, he's got his little day timer and
I know, it is exciting.
And at that time I was like, that doesn't sound very fun. But now
that we know what happens when you focus on it, right? Okay, number 6 is to write down all your social media followers. So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, write down how many friends you have, and then you can like put it all together so that you know what your following is for that year.
Oh, not their names, just the number.
Oh yeah, just a number.
Okay.
Just a number. And then number 7 is investments. Write down everything you invested for personal development. So like GoPro, any of that Fraser Brooks stuff, any books you've bought, courses you've taken, and the amounts, so that people know exactly how much you spent on personal development. And like 10 years from now, you'll be like, woohoo, I spent like 10 grand on personal development. But you'll know. And then number 8 is, how many active customers do you have? Active being the key word. And how many of those did you personally enroll? And how many are your team enrolled? So then from the number that you have from what you enrolled and the number from what your team enrolled, you need to make a ratio. So like the ratio could be, I'm going to tell you the same thing Fraser Brooks said. If you don't know what ratios are, Google it, because it'll show you how to do them. Because I'm not going to give you a math lesson.
So,
But
my team enroll more than I enrolled.
yeah,
Ratio.
yeah. He said the ideal is for everyone that you enroll, your team should enroll 10. He said that's the ideal number. 1 to 5 is like, okay. 1 to 3, you better do something about that. Yeah.
So if I enroll 1, then my team should be enrolling 10.
Yes. So if you enroll 2, your team should enroll 20. Yep. Okay, so number 9 is, how many active distributors? So in our case, how many active leaders do we have? And how many of those did you personally enroll? And how many of them did your team enroll?
Yeah, I think those are great questions, because it's important to think about, like, do you have duplication on your team, or is it just you?
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lisa, is that your office or is that like a backdrop?
Well, that's my office.
It is beautiful, I have to say. I noticed it before and it's so empowering. I really get good energy looking at it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I get good
Beautiful.
energy coming in here too.
I love it. I love it.
It's her woman cave.
A
Her
woman
she-
cave.
Her she cave.
Yeah,
Cheat in.
thank you. That's sweet.
That sounds better. She
Yes.
then.
Okay, so number 10 is, you need to make a list of the people who made you feel bad, small, crappy.
Oh, how many are you allowed? I'm just kidding.
You write them all down.
I'm kidding.
You write them all down. And you actually should be doing this every 3 months so that you're aware of the people that you're surrounding yourself with, because the people we surround ourselves with has a lot to do with our own energy.
That's what
And-
that Stormy said yesterday. That Stormy, what was her name? Wellington?
Wellington, yeah.
Yeah, she was saying to set, to put your line in the sand and allow, and, make your list of who brings you down and who helps you soar, right? I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Because I tolerate a lot of people in my life because I'm too kind. Tell them to kick dirt, right?
that's right.
Let them suck
Yeah.
your energy out.
You know what, Barb? I heard one of our support workers, she's like, just give them the moccasin. Kick them in the
I
butt.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm like, give them the moccasin. Okay, so number 11 is to make a list of all the people who have made you feel good, empowered, lifted you up.
Wow, that list is going to be so different ratio wise.
I know. And that's what you need to do. You need to make a ratio from the good and the bad people. And
Miss
really-
Kitty Little, you stop that.
Yep.
My cat's infatuated with my sliding doors on my closet. She keeps going in there and gets the doors flying. I thought the place was haunted the first night.
I
It's the
don't wanna get
sliding,
off- I don't want
Yeah,
to
the
get off track. Oh, sorry. Go on.
sorry, the sliding doors have mirrors on them, right? And I think she just likes looking
Oh.
at herself. She's so vain.
Yeah.
She's so vain. Yeah. So, but the first night I thought I was haunted, right? Because the doors kept slamming back and forth, and I was like in my new house, terrified.
I just want to quickly say quickly, I don't want to get off track, but you have to put on cat TV for your cat. Have you heard of that? It's a real thing. I
Oh my
have it on now and it's very peaceful and it's a squirrel and it's like 10 hours of this and the cat just watches it.
That's beautiful on YouTube.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh my
Great.
gosh,
Is there
that's
any
too fun.
aerobics for her?
Just get her doing that. Okay, number 12 is you want to make a list of the things that make you feel bad. Foods, places, people, things you read, things you look at, things you watch, things that make you feel bad.
This is going to be raw and real. Ooh.
I love this. I love this. Are you hearing this, Paul?
That's
Good thing.
I know
we got-
that's why I'm like, I'm just gonna give you the questions and you can do it on your
I
own
most
time.
certainly
Because,
am. The questions are fantastic. Thank you.
oh my gosh,
Oh, Paul, you are there.
that's awesome.
You're awesome, Paul.
Mhm. Okay,
You know, I thought,
number
oh,
13.
Mel, just something really quick. You know, something like this would be so awesome on a Christmas card that we send to our team players, right? Merry Christmas. Wouldn't that be fun to give
Yeah.
them this task, right?
Yeah.
I can
Totally.
see us doing this regularly.
Yes.
Yep. Totally.
Sorry to
I know.
interrupt, Mel.
That's okay. Okay, number 13 is to make a list of the things that make you feel good. And then you make a ratio of the things that make you feel bad to the things that make you feel good, just so that you have perspective.
Who's got birds? Who's got birds singing?
That's the cat TV.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God. So that's just fun. Can you send me the link for that, Dora?
Just Google on YouTube, cat TV. TV for cats, honest to God.
So thank you, because you know my cat's so depressed, right? And I sometimes I talk to her, I was like, I don't know what to do for you, cat, because I've never had cats, right? I inherited my mom's cat when she passed away, and I gave her the cat, and then the cat came back, and you know, with spite and anger, like
Oh, dear.
anxiety issue. Gave me away before, you're gonna do it again.
Trust
Well,
issues.
get the pet reference guide, Barb.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
is
that's good.
use
Okay.
it when-
I'm pulling you ladies back in. Enough cat
Sorry.
talking.
enough about our fur babies. Okay.
Okay, so that is the audit for 2021. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is goal setting. You need to have a bunch of goals so you at least hit some of them, because we all know that we set goals sometimes and don't hit them. So if we only have one and don't hit it, we're going to like beat ourselves up really bad. So you need to have more than one. And your intentions have to match your goals. So you can't be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make like $10,000 on my paycheck by the end of next year. And then you don't make a plan, or you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do that or whatever. You're like, yeah, I like Netflix too much. So you need to, your intentions, right? Like you have to set your intention to match your goals. With your goals, okay, so, okay, we have to jump back to your word for the year. So once you've picked your word for the year, you need to make yourself 3 rules that are going to help you stay focused on that word and help you achieve it. So whatever that's like I will only watch Netflix once every month after I have completed a 30-minute blitz every day. Very detailed rule. It is a rule. We don't have parents that parent us anymore, so we have to parent ourselves.
Adulting.
I know, adulting. So make some rules for yourself. Otherwise, whatever. This year's going to look like last year, or maybe the year before, or maybe even worse. So get your rules down. Okay. And then you guys need to get a great big piece of paper, a big piece of paper, flip chart paper, something that you're not going to erase. Don't use your whiteboard because you'll erase it. You got to keep this. And
Okay.
you're going to do a brain dump onto this paper of what your goals are. Okay. So you're going to write down every single thing that you want to achieve in 2022. Fraser Brooks says that you have to wow yourself before you how yourself, right? So don't start asking yourself how you're going to achieve this stuff. Just write everything down. And what you're going to do is you're going to write 20 goals every day for 15 days. Because the first 2 or 3 days are going to be super easy. And then you're going to start digging for things that really matter. And they'll be different than your surface goals for sure. And then once you have all your goals wrote down, you can do it like while you're, like, say at the end of your one day and you've wrote your 20, you categorize them. And there's 5 categories. So the first one is financial. The second one is family or relationship. The third one is faith. Number 4 is fitness.
Woohoo.
And number 5 is fun.
This is unbelievable. I love everything about this.
Right? I know. I'm like, this is a roadmap to creating like the most epic life ever.
No shit.
I like that. I like that, Mel. A roadmap roadmap to, what was that? Roadmap to what?
Creating your best life ever.
I'm going to use that, creating your best life ever. I'm going to use that as the title on my page.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to write it down too.
I
I don't know if that'll ever come out of my mouth again.
I love that, Mel. That was very creative, inspiring.
Roadmap to creating your best life ever. No kidding.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, this doesn't get us clear. I don't know what will.
Right? I know.
The next thing for me is a slap across the face. Get motivated, girl.
Yep. Yep. And just talking on that word motivation, like I know I and I'm going to say it all the time because I always fight with motivation. Always, right? Where do you find it? How do you get it? I don't want to do anything until I feel motivated. But then I watched a reel and they're like talking about how the highly successful people, are they motivated all the time? No, they're disciplined. They are disciplined. It takes discipline, not motivation. And that really gives me a whole lot of hope. I'm like, yes. I'm like,
What Tony Robbins says, right? It's
Oh my gosh.
discipline.
Yeah,
I know.
totally. So that's exciting. Okay. So that's what you're going to do on your big paper. Brain dump, categorize, and then you're going to prioritize them.
After the 15 days.
Yeah. After the 15 days, you prioritize them.
Brain dump. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Sure is.
You can do this with like your family as well, right? Like if you have family, your kids, if you have a spouse, whatever, you can do this with them as well. Like it doesn't have to be so intense that you're, trying to do 20 things for your family, but it's kind of cool if you just did like, maybe a couple of days. Be like, hey guys, what do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish this year? So it's really kind of cool when you hear what they want to accomplish. So then you can like mesh them together for sure. Okay. So now you have to make sure once you prioritize your goals, so you're going to have your goals, the ones at the top, you need to make sure this is where discipline is going to come in as well, and your rules to say no to everything else. Everything that is not going to get you closer to your goal, the ones that you pick that you want for the year, you have to say no.
Oh, that's empowering.
That is very empowering. And
It's very helpful for people that squirrel a lot.
yes. So Fraser Brooks was telling us a story. Somebody wanted to get Richard Branson to come and speak. And Richard does this. He has his goals and everything, and he says no to everything else. And this person had a really huge company and wanted him to come and speak. And they're like, no, he's busy. His calendar's full. And he really wanted him to. He kept emailing them back. He's like, okay, like, how much does it cost? Like, how do I buy some of his time? And at the end, he was so wanting him so bad that he actually gave Richard Branson a blank check. And he said, you fill it out to whatever you want and just come and speak. And he said, no, because this does not align with what I'm doing this year. He said no to a blank check.
Wow. That's commitment.
Right?
That's rich. That's rich.
That is how committed we have to be, right? Otherwise, we'll never get to those places.
Yep.
So we really have to remember that. Okay. And now that you have your goals picked out, the ones that you want, you have to write down why you want that.
Goals and why. Ooh.
Yep. Because you can't have a goal without a why. Otherwise, it's not important. There's no value to it, and you'll just brush it off.
And then it's a wish list.
Yep.
If there's
then
no why.
Yes. So Dean Graziosi says you need to ask yourself why 7 times.
Wow.
So if you want a Ferrari, you need to ask yourself why. And if you're like, because they're cool cars, well, why do you think they're cool cars? I don't know, because rich people drive them. Cool. So why is that important to you? Because I want to be a rich person. Why do you want to be a rich person? So by the time you get to the 7th layer, you're going to have what is actually down inside deep in your cores and your values down there. And then you'll probably cry, and then you'll be like, I'm so going for this, right? Okay, so now that you have your goals and you have your whys, you need to put them on a vision board.
Good timing with this, Mel, because then we can do it in time for January 1.
Absolutely.
What was he talking about? An audio board.
Okay, so an audio board, once you've created your vision board, you can record yourself, and you can record it like right now. You could be like talking about all the things on your vision board and why they're there, so that, because you're gonna forget. We just do, right? So then you listen to that every day, right? Like the excitement, because audio touches us differently in our brains than just looking at things, right? So we're connecting all pieces of our brains. So you're gonna listen to yourself say that. So you can walk through it, or you could talk like you have already achieved everything on your board, and just talk about what it feels like to already be there, and like give yourself words of encouragement, even if you wanted to, right? Like, oh my gosh, I know we're tired. I know we're overwhelmed. I know things aren't working. I know there's like obstacles coming up that we never thought of. I know this is harder than we thought it was, but guess what? You kept going and we got that Ferrari, and now we're like ripping down Las Vegas strips in this cherry red Ferrari. I want a McLaren. That's what I want. I want a silver one. I want a silver McLaren.
I see you in it right now
I'm
in
like,
my head. And I come for a ride.
and my Hudson, he said that we should all get one as a family, each one of us. And he's like, wouldn't it be so cool, Mom, to like drive up to family events and we all just pull up in our McLaren side by side? I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Yeah, he was like doing the math and everything on how much it would cost us to have a family of McLarens.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can do that. There is also an it's an older app, like they don't really talk about it very much, but it's that one called Mind Movies. And so you can take your pictures and things like that and put it into your Mind movie and watch it. You're gonna like, you should be starting your day. We've heard it like from all of our people on so many calls, and from so many different people, right? Get up in the morning and spend 30 seconds on your dream. It's worth it. Spend your 5 minutes listening or watching your movie of your vision board.
This is what with my boys, we all have in my photo album. I have 3 albums saved, one for me, one for the boys. And at night, it's not all the time, but once a week or so, we do a vision board. So I ask them what they want in the future, and I Google it, and then I just screenshot it and add it to their. But I like that you're really, like we always say, let's do a vision board.
Yeah.
But this year is getting so laser focused on what you really want.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I just go to Walmart and I print off those pictures. And I have a great big piece of sheet metal. It's probably 4 by 3. And I have magnets. And it's a vision board wall.
That's so cool.
That's a great idea.
Go to the scrapyard and find a big sheet of metal and put it on your wall.
So cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so good. Yeah, because usually like we're like, oh, let's do a vision board. And then we grab a bunch of magazines or something and we like start cutting out pictures because they're pretty, but we have no idea why we want them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's why your why is so important.
It is.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So, okay. So that is what we are covering today. So my challenge to you is by January 1st, you have your audit finished, totally, completely finished, wrapped up. Pretend the government is like, I want to see those numbers. Be diligent. Maybe I should be like, Mel wants to see those numbers.
Good. You should.
Yep. Be like, I want to see those numbers. And also, I want you to have your vision board done
Okay.
for 2021. That doesn't mean you can't add to it later on. It doesn't mean that you can't take something off. It doesn't mean anything, but you need to have it done by January 21st. January 1st.
So is there an app out there for vision boards to create them online, Mel? You seem to know all the apps.
The Mind movie. Mind movie. I don't know if it's still
Nice.
on there or not, but that's, well, it should be. Fraser Brooks. That's the one Fraser Brooks was talking about.
Oh, got
Mind
it. Okay.
And I'm sure I have it because I'm sure, remember Dora, how I was sending you those ones before? And I sent them to Lisa too with my vision boards. I'm sure that was the Mind Movie app that I used. Yes. And as of today, how many days is there until January 1st? I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Let's see here.
11.
2,
11?
Yeah, today's the 20th.
Well,
This is my
I'm
my
glad
mother's birthday.
I'm glad we have a math person here because that makes all the sense in the world, right? 31 minus 20. Okay, so that's 11 days, people. We're 4 days behind on doing 15 days of goals. So get your papers up today and start brain dumping on that.
I love the idea of brain dumping to get it all out.
I know, right? I'm excited. I'm doing this with my kids. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording and
What's that? Ah,
That's yours.
oh, it is so, yes.